Before I start the video, I'd like to thank all my subscribers. I really appreciate your support, and I look forward to growing this channel with you. If you're a first timer to my channel, or if you have not hit that subscribe button, I please ask that you do. If you like this video, please click the like button and leave comments in the comments section. Today, we're going to be discussing what I believe is the biggest threat to America, and it is Islamic extremism. I think the biggest red flag was the election of Islami Mamdani as mayor of New York City. I realize that a lot of people are saying, well, you can't prove that he's going to bring Sharia law to New York City. You know, he's denied that constantly, that Islam is going to have nothing to do with how he conducts himself as mayor. But at the same time, he promised New York City residents free bus fare, a $30 minimum wage, and raising the state income tax on millionaires and billionaires. And he hasn't even been properly sworn into office, and he's broken all three of these promises. So, you know, can't really believe the guy. What I can do is take a look at what is going on in Europe when it comes to Sharia law. And Austria recently recognized Sharia law. They're going to start incorporating it. And that is downright scary. There's a lot of stuff going on in Sweden. They have what they call Sharia patrols, which basically check if women are wearing enough clothing. There's almost 60 of these no-go zones in Sweden where many women are afraid to walk around at night. And also, Sweden used to be this feminist utopia, yet in 2024, it had 10,167 rapes and 68,000 women and girls experienced gender mutilation. Now, for those of you who are not familiar what gender mutilation means to a female, it either means the partial or full removing of the clitoris or similar operations on the labia. And basically what this does is it removes sensation for a woman, so it's harder to enjoy sex. Now, personally, I don't have a problem with that because I've been married to my wife for 30 years and I've never enjoyed sex with her. So what's good for the goose is good for the gander. And no, my wife does not watch my social media, so yes, I'm going to get away with that. And also, I've made that joke in front of her at least 100 times while we've been married, so yeah. Screw you guys. Also, Sharia law is used in Germany to solve domestic conflicts. It's recognized in a part of Greece. I believe it's Western Thrace, which has a minority Muslim population. This has been going on for a long time. I guess you can track it all the way back to the time when Greece was invaded by the Ottoman Empire. The thing that 300 was based on during that time, I guess it goes back to all the way to there. So this has been going on for a long time there. In Europe, it basically started in the 1940s, and it was a slow progression over decades. But the point is, it's been happening, and it is progressing. Although now you're beginning to see that some countries are beginning to fight back against this. Primarily, you're seeing it in Italy. They've pretty much had enough of this nonsense, and they're deporting these radicals as fast as they can. And I believe you're beginning to see a bit of a blowback in the UK. Their citizens have finally figured out that this is not a good thing, what's going on in London and maybe some of the other parts of England. And they're beginning to have a little bit of pushback. Hopefully other countries will follow suit, because these radical Islamists, they don't come into your country to assimilate. They come in to basically dictate to your country their laws. That's their primary goal. They have no interest in assimilation whatsoever. As far as what's going on in the United States, it's on a smaller scale. There's some minor things going on, but it's no less concerning. One of the main things that came up recently is you had this imam, I believe he was in Houston, but it was somewhere in Texas, and he was going around and threatening these Muslim store owners and telling them that we're going to protest you, we're going to try and, block people from visiting your business if you don't stop selling pork, alcohol, and lottery tickets. Now, me, I love pork, alcohol, and yeah, I play the lottery every once in a while. I can live without that, but I have pork and alcohol sometimes at the same time. I have old fashions with maple bacon, all sorts of stuff. I got all sorts of crazy stuff going on with those two things. So if you're going to try and ban me from having those two things, yeah, you're going to be in for a fight. Anyways, it got so bad that Governor Abbott basically had to pass a law that said you can't practice Sharia law and you can't have Sharia enclaves within the state, which is kind of redundant since the First Amendment already says that the separation of church and state, and that includes Sharia law. You can't have religious organizations telling the government what to do, even on minor levels like at the state or city, county. It's illegal. But anyways, they passed the law. So hopefully that's in check. But this is definitely someone, I believe his name was Imran Khan. This is a guy they need to be red flagging and keeping an eye on, because he's definitely someone that isn't interested in assimilating to our culture. And another thing is that Minneapolis now, I know they didn't elect their Islamic mayor candidate. I don't know. He looked kind of like Beetlejuice to me. But anyway, I don't remember his name. I know he didn't get elected. Thank God. But Minneapolis has been broadcasting call to prayer 5 times a day for the Islamic faith. And basically, they amended the noise ordinance to do so. I find that a little concerning, too. And what I also don't get is the modern feminists and the alphabet mafia, they're supporting like Hamas, and apparently they supported Islami Mamdani. And I don't know if this is just ignorance or they're uneducated, but let's walk through a little bit of the problems they're going to have if Sharia law or if Islam takes over this country. As a woman in Islam, you're never allowed to disobey your husbands. So here's the most hated 2 words, or 2 syllables in the English language. 1 word, 4 letters, 2 syllables, obey. You have to obey a man. Yeah. How about that one, feminists? That's going to take you all the way back to the dark ages. Also, you're never allowed to make eye contact with a man. Eyes down here, ladies. In public, there's no interaction with men, no hand holding, no kissing, no nothing, no displays of affection. That's all no. And also no revealing clothing. So for all you people that it's my body, my choice, women, yeah, well, you can't show your cleavage, you can't show your midriff, and you can't show your ass. So welcome to Islam there, too. And then you get into the extreme cases where they restrict employment, education, and deny basic human rights. I believe this is like the Taliban in Afghanistan. I think Saudi Arabia does this, and I forget, there's maybe one more country, but this is definitely extreme stuff, but it does exist. So it needs to be noted, ladies. Modern feminists, this is what you're supporting. And we can go through some punishments under Sharia law. And the first one, the punishment for adultery is flogging. Yeah. So you basically get taken out in public and hit with a cat o' nine tails. They weren't specific about amount, but I'm going to guess it's more than once. And for all you women that like to go stealing things, which I see quite prominently on TikTok and YouTube where they get busted. Well, you think going to jail is bad for it? Try losing an appendage, let's say a hand or a foot. That'll make you think twice about stealing, huh? Then you've got Eric, if you have extramarital sex. And I had to look this up. I didn't really know the difference between adultery and extramarital sex, but apparently here's the difference as far as I can tell. Adultery is when no permission is involved. In other words, you're cheating behind your spouse's back and they don't know about it. While extramarital sex is like swinging, I guess, is that it's good. You know, one or both, they have consented that you can go out and have sex with other people. Anyway, the punishment for extramarital sex is a stone concert. And I'm not talking about the Mick Jagger one. Yeah, that one. And then if you have premarital sex, which is, you know, you're not married, you're a 304, you get lashed. So that's when they hit you with a whip or a stick, bamboo. I read that it can be up to like 100 times. That sounds like fun. The first time you decide you want to be a 304 and get caught, yeah, you get 100 lashes. That'll probably make you think twice about ever doing that again. And then we get to the alphabet mafia, where punishment becomes a lot more simple. The punishment for being part of the alphabet mafia is deletion. The only bit that's confusing on all this is how they're going to delete you. Some seem to approve of fire. Some approve of taking you to a stone concert. And some people approve of a small throw off a tall building. But it all ends up the same way. So you're supporting people, you alphabet mafia types, that want to delete you. How can you reconcile that? How can you reconcile that? How can you support Hamas or any other Islamic organization or country when they would love to delete you? And there's no gray area. This is very black and white. It's all over the place. You can Google it. You can search it. There's no gray area on it at all. It's deletion. That's it. The only thing they can't make up their mind about is how they're going to do it. Now, how would I fix all this? My first recommendation to the president would be stopping immigration completely. Full stop. Nobody comes into the country until we fix what's going on inside the country. We got too many people in here. We don't know what their deal is. We got too many people in here we can't track. We shouldn't be bringing anyone else into this country. I mean, we just found out we got like 40 million people on SNAP. I'm going to guess that at least 20 of them are able-bodied human beings. If we got gaps in the workforce, hey, we got 20 million people. They can go to work. I don't know why they weren't working before, but that's a different video. But to me, that is what I'd be doing. The next thing that I would address is the H-1B visa. The system's broken. There's a lot of reasons why it's broken. The most common one, there's just rampant abuse of the system. You got people that are overstaying their visas. There are people that are in the country for the wrong reasons. In my opinion, they're not being properly vetted. So either there needs to be a massive overhaul or we need a completely new system built from scratch. Next thing is, immigrants that don't want to assimilate should be deported. The reasoning is because if you're coming here for a better life, which is what you should be doing, that's the reason why you come to this country, right? Is you want a better life. You're escaping the life in your shitty country. Why are you bringing any of the traditions of that shitty country with you? That is a big question mark to me. I don't think you should be doing it. And you do not have our country's best interest at heart if you're doing that. So you should be deported. If you commit a crime like falsifying your immigration papers or marrying your sibling, which is illegal in at least 49 of the 50 states, I'm not so clear on Alabama, mainly because I know Jeremy Prime's family tree looks like a broomstick. Sorry, Jeremy, but yeah, I didn't know there was an I in Alabama, but there is, and it stands for inbred. I'm just going to leave it there. Anyway, if you break any rule, there shouldn't be any question. It should be a very quick hearing, and you should be deported. I mean, this thing with Ilhan Omar, I mean, there's several things going on with her. And if she was a normal person, I have a feeling she'd already be gone. But because she's part of Congress, she's apparently above the law. But in my opinion, she should be gone. The FBI should be working harder on this. Either exonerate her completely or let's see some charges on her. I realize that it really solved the problem because I'm sure Dearborn, I believe that's what she represents, would just elect someone as equally crazy, but maybe it sends a message. And that's what we need to start doing here. We need to start sending messages. This is not going to be accepted. This is not how you come to this country. You got to step right. If you step wrong, we'll send you home. And like I said, the FBI needs to be making a list of people that are radicals, and they need to be watching them. And when they step wrong, there need to be consequences. The time of messing around with these people and ignoring them is gone. If we don't do something about this, we're going to end up like Europe. And I don't want to end up like Europe. And I'm just going to leave it there. So like my father told me when I was 18 years old, get out.